And just like that. Welcome everybody to the stakeholders meeting today. We are excited. We have Paul Hugh from the Southwest, KW Southwest Region Tech Director. He's here from the Southwest region. He is going to be showing us why Command is so powerful for running your campaigns. So be ready to ask your questions. We are recording this. We're live streaming it into the group, so you will be able to pick it up. Go back and look at things, whatever you need to, so that this can be a resource for you as you build out and start using campaigns. Before we get to that, I want to just hit a couple announcements real fast here, everybody. Share my screen. Here we go. All right. Tomorrow is your final chance for the month to attend Ignite Your Command. Thursday from 1 to 3, you'll be able to jump on. Just if you weren't able to get on one of the previous two sessions, this is your chance to get on. They're going to be going over, as you see here, opportunities, the consumer app, designs, campaigns, which you'll already be proficient in, and your contacts with smart plans. This is a great way to get in and start if you felt like, oh, how do I get things rolling in Command? Where do I really get started? How do I this or how do I that? This is the way to do it. So jump on there. The link to attend is on KWEV Dates. You'll see that for Thursday tomorrow. KWEV Dates has the link for you to be able to join that 1 to 3 tomorrow. Okay. Also, for those of you who haven't been attending or need to, jump into the broker class. All right. It's a great place to sharpen your skills. We have top agents from our office are the ones who are teaching those classes. So check KWEV Dates for that, as well as Ignite. Right? Ignite is wrapping up. We'll be finishing it next week, and Ignite won't be back till September. We'll be bringing it back in September. So also, the other thing I wanted to bring up by way of announcement here is listings. Everybody, listings is the name of the game. Brad, I see you. I'll come right back to you. Listings is the name of the game right now, and always has been. Leads Listings Leverage. I've been talking about it in my one-on-ones with agents. Our team, my team, we're super focused on how we can provide and produce more. So next week's class, stakeholders meeting, is going to be a panel all about getting listings. So what are agents who are taking listings right now? What are they doing? What should you be doing? How can you tweak things? So jot that down. Be sure you're here for the panel that we're going to have next week, 12:30 to 2 on our Zoom link for our stakeholders meeting. Brad, what you got, buddy?
Hey, thanks. I just figured while I had at least a few people on online right now, just a quick reminder that we're going into the final week here through July 31st. Any closing you have, if it goes on your green sheet, money goes to KWEV Cares for us to send to Lenora, who suffered that brutal attack during our open house. So at the beginning of the month or before the beginning of the month, we all committed to trying to do that. And so let's see if we can get like a groundswell of money put in there so we can send a nice check their way and wish her well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brad, for bringing that up. So on our Facebook group at the top, one of the announcements, Brad had written about this. And some of you I find aren't familiar, but there's KW Cares and then there's KWEV Cares. We have our own fund that we have here for helping out our own agents. And in this case, we decided, the ALC voted on and said, what's something we could do to give back? And we said, well, they decided everything that's coming in July, this was Brad's idea here, fantastic idea, shows our culture. Anything that's contributed to KWEV Cares, whether it's on the green sheet or you want to make a donation, you can have Stephanie run that on your card. But any donation made to KWEV Cares here in the month of July will be given to Lorraine for her medical bills, her living costs that she has. I mean, it was just such an awesome idea that you had, Brad, to do that. And I think that's why the ALC and everybody has jumped full in. So everybody, even if you don't have a closing, you can still contribute. Come see Stephanie, text Stephanie, call Stephanie, Facebook Stephanie, whatever you need to do. Get a hold of Stephanie and you can make that donation. So thank you, Brad, for bringing that up. I had skipped over that, so thank you very much. All right, we are excited to have Paul Hugh with us. Now, I'm going to give a little introduction to Paul Hugh. Paul Hugh is our regional tech director, which means he knows everything there is to know about command. Everything there is to know about. Okay, he doesn't. He'll be mad at me for saying that, right? He doesn't know everything there is, but he knows what you need to have going on in your business in order to make command effective. And one of the biggest things people are seeing returns on from command right now is campaigns. And the campaigns, in fact, you can be getting we're seeing some agents out there 70 cents a lead. I don't know any lead source you can get for that low. 70 cents a lead is what they're acquiring them at. So he's going to take us through that. Paul comes from a background. He was at a different not KW, but he was at a different 3-letter place, and we shall not mention. But he has seen the light. He has repented of his ways and has joined Jonathan over here at KW. And him and Jonathan Dupree, who is our regional tech director, they are lighting things up. So also something to know is Paul is really, really great at walking an agent through what's called a tech audit. I've done a tech audit with some of you. He is phenomenal with it as well. And he is somebody that, if you've got an agent that you're like, this person's really adept at stuff, maybe we can get them connected with Paul, and Paul can do a tech audit. He's been very active in helping recruit people back to KW and into KW. So if that wasn't enough, the dude's Australian, so you're going to love hearing from him and not me. So Paul, take it away.
Hey, Jason, thanks so much, man. And firstly, I just kind of want to say to you guys, it's such an honor to really be in business with you guys. I've had such a blast in my first few months in KW. For those of you who don't know me, I am Australian, just like Jason said, and came over here some years ago. And my background is kind of, it's actually in the medical field, but when I moved here, my father-in-law asked me to jump in the family business. He's been in real estate for about 31 years. And so certainly in that realm, I've kind of picked up a little thing, but certainly on the tech side of things, at the end of the day, this is an amazing platform. Is it going to fulfill everything? Probably not. Is it going to have trending bugs and, things that kind of freeze in the moment? Yeah, absolutely. But I can tell you now, if you put in the work and you persist, just like anything in life and anything in our business, you're going to reap the rewards. And so in saying that as well, this is a really dynamic platform. We have developers working around the clock in Austin, Texas at HQ, working with Google, Nextdoor, and Facebook, like literally syncing up like day and night. And I know that for a fact. To give you some perspective, they had 300 tickets submitted that were resolved last month from 20 people on staff just for that month of June. So you can imagine, in addition to, attending all the issues that come up, they're rolling out new updates all the time, and they're developing and they're fine tuning and creaking it out. And so it's really cool because we own it and we get to customize it and play with it and improve it as we like at KW. And so we're really excited about that. And I'll start off by saying this: as great as this platform is, as great as any technology is, I mean, you guys would know as well as anyone, this is very much a face-to-face, belly-to-belly business, right? If we just focus on the tech, but we don't really pay attention to best practices, then no amount of technology, no quality of technology is really going to help us. And at the same time, if we just focus on best practices, but we don't have any tools and systems to help support us in our role to grow and scale our businesses, then we're going to be left in the dust, considering it's 2020 or moving forward in our times. So I know that there has to be a good place, and there certainly is space for a good marriage between the two, particularly in our businesses and in our industry. So let's get right into it, right? So for what Jason's saying, I'm kind of the agent's voice for the tech platform. I'm not someone that certainly knows it all, but I'm in it enough that I know, and that I know quite a bit. And the only reason why I know a bit, because I'm in it. And and if you did the same thing I did and spend 30 minutes a day just in it, just playing with it, making mistakes, freezing up and moving forward, you're going to know a lot. So that's my encouragement to you guys, but let's get right into it. And I'm going to hope that I can show you some form of value moving forward. Now, before we get in, I want to kind of guide you on some avenues where you can find support straight away. Our goal from a regional perspective is to have you guys feel like you're supported, and certainly, reach out to Jason, reach out to myself. But the truth of the matter is we're overseeing the entire region, 26 market centers across 2 states. And as badly as we want to get back to you real quick, we might not be able to. Our bandwidth is only limited. And so I'm only saying this not to push you off, but to say, hey, you can actually go to things like, there's a wealth of resource in YouTube. So I put up 3 profiles where you're going to see tons and tons and tons of videos on how to do things within Command. Marty Miller is in the middle right now of a 66-day challenge where each and every day he'll go through a specific, topic. So you can see here today, he went through automated open house lead follow-ups. Yesterday, he did virtual open house sign-ins within Command. A few days ago, he did DocuSign folders. He interviewed an agent using Command on how she makes 300 grand in her second year with Command. Particular Facebook ad interest groups, which we'll go through. And then just all those sort of things. And that's just one person, one profile in one platform. All right. So there's a wealth of resource there. Then we have Nick Baldwin, who's another huge figure, and he's got a ton of videos as well, just like Marty Miller. And then there's Jay Sumac, who's actually a fellow team leader and a compatriot in our region. So what a better way to support not only our family of KW, but our region in the Southwest region. And again, just the wealth of info and knowledge and wisdom there. So be sure to hit them up. Literally, like you can see these videos, if I asked you to watch one a day, is it going to be like crazy long? Look at this, 2 minutes, 59 seconds, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes. Some of them are a little bit longer, but it's not going to take hours and hours of your day. So really dive into it, just invest a little bit of time into it. These are 3-4 minute videos, 5-minute videos. And you can even watch them a little bit faster as well. So Jason, just let me know if there's any questions. So moving forward, so that's YouTube. Then you also, if you go into Facebook, you've got 2 big groups here. You got Command Your Conversion, which has over, where's that number? 31,000 members and a crazy amount of posts. And if you type in any particular topic, let's type in campaigns, you'll see all the posts on campaigns coming right up.
Now, Paul, I'm going to ask you to just show that one more time where that is at, because sure. I think for those of us who utilize it, we know that it's there and what a great resource that is. But a lot of people don't recognize that I can search a group and I can find all posts related. If I, like the other day, I needed to check and see, okay, can you do emojis or emojis? Because at one point you couldn't. So I went to the group and I searched the group for just the word emoji, found the answer to my question, done. I mean, it becomes a great Q&A knowledge base if you know how to navigate it. So can you show them that again?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you log into Facebook, you're going to type in the search bar in your Facebook. This is my personal account. You'll see it says Paul. Type in Command Your Conversion. All right. And then the Command Your Conversion, the results will come up and you'll see that group there. And it says, you and 31,000 other members are a part of this group. So if you haven't joined, request to join and you'll be admitted in straight away. Then when you're in, on the left-hand corner, you'll see this search bar. And it says search this group. This is different from the Facebook search bar. This is the search bar for this particular group. So if you want to type in, just like Jason's saying, a particular topic, particular questions, you might want to type in designs, smart plans, whatever it might be, everything will come up, right? So again, Command Your Conversion, press enter. It'll come up, click on that, request to join, and then search within. But even as you do this, look at this. I didn't plan this, but when I type in Command Your Conversion, you'll see a post that came up on July the 6th. So what, like 2-3 weeks ago, from Caleb Wright sharing another great ad, pulling in 54 leads on a $12 budget at a whopping 22 cents per lead. And he shares his screen there, right? So you're gonna see just incredible value straight up off the bat in these two groups. Same with, this is another group, KW Command. So you've got Command Your Conversion, KW Command, write that down. 34,000, almost 35,000 members in there. Click on that, request to join. When you join, type in the search box and things will come up. Okay. And there's even things like they've tagged a few little posts as well. So if you want to look at posts on contacts, on opportunities, on campaigns, leads, teams, whatever it might be, it's all here. Like, what a wealth of resource. It's incredible. So that's two separate groups in addition to your YouTube group. Finally, you have this. This site is called answers.kw.com. Write that down. Answers.kw.com. So if I refresh it, this is the page that comes up. And this is a KW page made just for you, the agents. And it has anything and everything to do with kind of tech support, right? Command MC support, compliance, FAQs, command support. So if I click on that, it'll open right up, and a wealth of, it's split up into sections: count contacts, command, opportunities, DocuSign, consumer, designs, and then you can even start typing in your search box as well. What I really like about this is, if you really can't find the answers, I would urge you to try and find the answers in these platforms. But if you can't, then you click here, submit a request in the top right-hand corner. You go ahead and submit it. Type in your email, type in the subject, type in your name, type in the region name, which is your market center. Put in your description, right? Now, let me tell you something. Those of you who submit this, make sure you add in like a screenshot or a video recording. You can use Loom, loom.com. If you sign up to that, it's a free service where you can use it to record what's on your screen. So literally what I would do is I would go to loom.com, press record, go into your campaigns or your command, and start running it and kind of describing it as you run into your issue. So you would go, hey, this is Paul from Market Center 123 in Las Vegas. And if you see what I'm doing here, it doesn't work. And then you stop record, you would send that Loom recording link, you put it in this box, and you would submit that request. When you submit that request, it'll go to support. And like I said, last month alone, they resolved 300 tickets across the month. So they're working around the clock. And then if it doesn't work, reach out to Jason. He'll reach out to me, and I'll shoot it up my chain as well to help you out in addition to that. So again, there's a wealth of resource, right? And I just wanted to quickly show you guys that.
And I've added all of those links to everything Paul just said. Added the YouTube ones here in the chat, and then on the Facebook live stream in our group, I've added even the Facebook groups as well as the answers.kw.com. So you'll find those in the live stream. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so Charles is just asking, do you recommend Command Your Conversion over the other two major pages? Look, Charles, honestly, I'm going to take everything I can get, and Command Your Conversion is a fantastic page, but KW Command has 34,000 members. You would think there's going to be some answers there and resource there, right? So I would just join both and hit both up.
Yeah, what I found is that your Command Your Conversion ones are going to be better used for your tactical, how am I using this, conversing with the client sort of stuff. And then your issues of navigating, functioning, building, using command is KW Command.
Right. And again, this is the page that will actually connect you to KW support in Austin, Texas. Okay. So this is a page that you want. Answers.kw.com. That's it. All right. So let me close that off. Now let's go into dashboard. We're going to focus on campaigns, specifically campaigns. So let's go into campaigns. let me tell you guys something. For those of you who don't know, I'm fairly new to KW. And I got given this platform, and within like literally an hour, my boss called me up, the regional director was like, I want you to run an ad. And I had no idea what I was doing. Okay. And I'm going to show you the first ad, one of the very first ads I ran. It was for $60 over 3 days. And you'll see that I got 35 leads at $1.71 a lead, not knowing what I was doing. I literally had no idea. I was winging it totally. And I'll show you how, I'll show you the actual ad itself. It's fairly simple. And again, no idea what I was doing. You'll see that it's all messy. Look, it's not even on one line. I've never been to Phoenix, and I'm running an ad for Phoenix, and I'm in California. And it says, Phoenix, have you seen the newest listings in our market? Tons of beautiful properties that just hit the market. Get your access below. This is a screenshot that I took off my phone and uploaded it. And again, I made this in 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm totally winging it. So needless to say that if someone 24 hours in the system can run just whatever ad and get ads at $1.71 a lead. And again, you know, I bet you if I did this again, I could fine tune it. You'll be able to see. So let's click on those 35 leads. It's one thing to get a quantity of leads, but it's a whole nother discussion and a ball game to get a quality of leads. And my previous brokerage, we ran a lot of leads. I would get 30 leads a month easily, but over half of them would be 555-5555. Don't call me at gmail.com, you know, things like that. So
if they were being nice.
Right, exactly. So these are the 35 leads off that first campaign that I had no idea what I was doing. And you'll see here, these are the leads itself, right? Alicia Morales, amorales@gmail.com. You'll see that's a phone that looks legitimate, would you say? And you go down the list and, you know, they look legitimate. Florencio Ramirez, Florencio766@gmail. That looks like a pretty legitimate phone number. And you go down the list, they're all actual leads, like real leads. Okay. So that's how easy it is. So again, no idea what I'm doing. I'm saying this to encourage you guys to give it a swing. Just swing for the fences. And if you fail, you fail, but at least you've gone through the experience at least once. So that's the ad that I did. So let's go ahead. Let's kind of break it down and actually create one. All right. So let's go ahead and create a social ad. You're going to click social paid ad. And here, guys, so there are certain kind of, you know, sections that you could pick. This is what I would say to you. Click on either advertise listing or attract buyers. In all honesty, it doesn't make a difference whether you pick one or the two, right? I would start off with this, advertise listing or attract buyers, because even if you click on attract buyers, you can advertise a particular listing, right? So I'm going to actually show you how to do that. So I'm going to call this, you guys are in, where are you guys, Jason? Scottsdale, Phoenix?
Tempe
listings. Let's just do that. I want to attract buyers, and I'm here. It says, where will you run your campaign? Okay. I'm going to run it on Facebook. You can choose to run it on Instagram and Twitter. You know, best practice is just to keep it on Facebook. You're going to get more bang for your buck there.
Yeah. A lot of times with Instagram, so you guys know too, one of the things that'll happen is that your ad spend can get eaten up on Instagram, and you won't get the same kind of lead traction that you will on Facebook. I have experienced that many times.
Correct. And in addition to this as well, I should let you know the reason why. So full disclosure, you can actually go to your Facebook account and run an ad on Facebook. You don't have to use campaign, but let me tell you why you want to. There's two main reasons. When you run a Facebook campaign on Facebook and you're using any other CRM, it doesn't automatically import into your CRMs. Remember when I showed you this ad and these 35 leads came directly into my contacts and they're already in my system. And I can automatically, like with 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, put them on a smart plan, any smart plan I want, and have them on and be in dialogue with them. You can't do that if you individually go into Facebook and run a campaign in Facebook. In addition to that, you got to understand, Facebook is a business, right? Businesses love money. So if you go to Facebook and you run an ad at 50 and you throw $50 of ad spend on Facebook, well, you're competing with everyone else throwing their money at Facebook. And what you're doing here, KW, you're actually throwing $50 at KW. KW collects your $50 and collects Jason's $50 and collects, you know, mine and 10,000 other agents $50 and puts all that money and pays Facebook, and they buy it at an economy of scale. So you're competing with a company that's paying Facebook $50,000 to your $50, and Facebook is going to prioritize those who pay them more money. And that's just, you know, I don't blame them for that. That's what we all do, right?
Yep.
So
and the third thing on that, I would add, Paul, is that it is KW. You're tapping into KW's analytics.
correct.
So what happens is this whole thing is out there on Facebook, and the algorithm, because they want KW to spend more money, is looking at the behavior of everyone who's clicking on that ad. And the people who have a click-through rate, it looks at what other things they've looked at and then matches it up. So no longer are you using just the data of your small sample for the $50. It's using the data sample of $50,000 spent on ads. And the quality of those data points are far, far, far better, which ultimately ends up in a much higher converting lead that you receive.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit the nail on the head there, Jason. So for those reasons, those three reasons, you want to run it through here. And plus, it is so simple. Like, I've run ads on Facebook before at a high level. It's very complicated. This is so simple. Even for someone who's a little bit more advanced, I prefer this, you know? So yeah, okay. So let's go through it again. You're going to click social ad paid, click attract buyers. I'm going to call this Tempe listings. I'm going to run on Facebook. I'm going to click set up campaign. Now, I should note something. Before you do any of this, you want to go into settings. So top right-hand corner, click your name, go into settings, and you want to make sure you've connected your business Facebook page to your command. So the way you do that is this will show up. Now, there are two Facebooks. This is just for your kind of free posts, but you scroll down and you go to marketing automation, Facebook ad manager, and you're going to click, mine's already connected, but if you haven't connected, it'll say connect account just like this. It'll say it here, connect account, and then you're going to select, just follow the prompts and select your business Facebook page. If you don't have a business Facebook page, make one. It's free, it's easy, simple to do. So once you've done that, you can then run a campaign.
And we did the setting up your apps as one of our command challenges. We have these command challenges we run every week. And so there is a video on our YouTube channel. I'll drop the link to the direct video here in the chat, as well as on the live stream, so that you guys, if you haven't done that, watch that video, and it walks you through every step of what Paul was just showing you to make sure your Facebook page is connected to your command.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it takes you here. This is what you see, right? When you go in. And this is how simple it's going to be. Now, I selected attract buyers. There was another option to advertise a listing, right? But my point being is it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, at this point in stage of the development of command, it doesn't matter. I always select attract buyers. So you're going to add a listing. So that's my point, is that you can advertise any listing. I want someone to shout out a listing they have right now. Just shout it out. Anybody?
Brad's got his hand up. Unmute yourself and shout it out.
Somebody.
No, it's under contract. Never mind.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll show up. 1367 South Country Club Drive.
You just wanted to do that, Brad, didn't you?
Yeah, my bad.
Just
I'm actually curious because it
Still in
wouldn't show up the
vacation
other day.
brain. Apparently.
I'm just going to look up any Tempe listing then. Let's see what we find. All right. $6.5 grand. Sign me up. I don't think these are Tempe listings, are they? But let's just select anything, right? This is in Colorado. All right. So if you want to advertise a listing, you can just do that, right? And you can what's written in the MLS will automatically come up. You can change it. You can adjust it as you will, and so on and so forth. But let's not do a listing actually. You know what? Let's go back to paid ads.
I have a listing address if you want to just input that one.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that then.
Charles, you got your hand up. You got something?
Yeah, just a helpful tip with occasionally the listings, as we still build this, the listings may or may not show up. We've been about 60% show up, 40% can't find them in the system so far, and that's okay. We're building it. But I just wanted to note that under the ad build out, you can still add your own photos of your listing, which you'll have professional photos anyway. So I just wanted to add that you can still post your listing and put all the phraseology up there that you want without having to worry about finding the listing in the KWLS 2.0.
Yeah, great point. Great point. So what was that listing that you had?
10215 North 28th Drive. That's Phoenix.
Worry about finding the listing in the KWLS 2.0.
Great point. Great point. So what was that listing that you had?
10215 North 28th Drive. That's
It
Phoenix.
is, right there.
So what was that listing? Okay, there it is. What a big time listing. Congratulations. All right, so this is a shopping plaza, it looks like.
Why does it say KW Roseville down in the corner?
Because that's where my market center is.
Oh, okay.
So what's really cool is you can go ahead and advertise, any property across any MLS, anywhere in the country.
Yep.
And Command is set up to keep it compliant. So one of the things when you set up your marketing profile, you put in your DBA, the office. So not for us, Keller Williams East Valley, for Paul where he's at, Keller Williams Roseville. And Command adds that to the photo in that bottom right. You can tell it to be in the bottom left, but it'll add it on there, and you can tell it not to if you want, but it adds it on so that you remain in compliance.
That's awesome.
So, okay, some best practices. All right. So you see, it automatically pulls up the picture and the wording from the MLS that the agents put in. So here it says you've got 250 characters to use. What I would encourage you to do is, you see on the right-hand side here, it says families and ... I would keep it so that you don't see that ... So what I would do is I would kind of figure out what is it that I really want to advertise here. So I might just want to stop here, right? Again, to your own kind of opinion. And some best practices is to actually put in some emojis at the start. So here's some that I prefer. I like, you could put in, like if I type in siren, fire, here, there you go. So I might not want that at the beginning. I want that at the start. I might want to use, you just go down the list. And it's going to take you a little while, but if this was an actual residential home, I'd use one of these home. You just type in home and an emoji would come up. Yeah, so I might want to do that, right? And if you want to elaborate and type in more, go ahead and do that. But what you want to prevent is that ... at the end. Does that make sense for everybody? All right. So that's how easy it is. You just put in what you want there. And then this is the headline, and you'll see it's right here. And I would write something like, click, learn more for pictures and price, something like that. Come home to this amazing view every day and enjoy, right? So you could just type in whatever you want. You can, again, put in some emojis and whatever you like. All right, but you want to keep these two sections fairly short because it's only literally like one line. And then you go ahead and save text. And then you'll see that green ticks there. You've done everything. All right. Then you would go to add media. So you scroll this down. And these are the images that you can add. And, you know, to Charles's point earlier, you can upload your own image from your computer. You can add more. Again, so these are the images that you might want to add. So right now it's only got this particular listing, this particular image for this listing. You might want to add this one. You select it, preview and crop, and then it'll automatically take you to wide. See up here, if you drop it down, best practice is actually square, right? So I might want to do square, and I might want to, you can move it around to where you like it. I like it here. So I'm going to save that image there. All right. Same thing with this first image. These, you click on these three dots, crop image, drop down square, and I like that photo. I like it right there. All right. And then let's add a few more. Like, if the ads that perform well, typically are ads that you have a few pictures on, not too many, like 5, 6. You don't even need that many, because what they're going to do is when they get to your, I don't want to leave. When they get to your ad, they're going to be scrolling to the next image, like next, and they're going to stay on your ad. It's a tool to really hook them in, right? So let's just, for time's sake, let's just stick with those three. Now, if you like this image better, you can actually move it to the front. All right. If you like this one, you can move it to the front, or whatever you might want. Then it's going to have your logo. And you can select whether you want it in the right-hand corner or in the left-hand corner, right? I'm going to put it in my left-hand corner. You can upload your own logo as well. And I'm going to include my ownership statement that says each office is independently owned and operated. So you see that logo just move from the right to the left, or whatever you want. You save ad media, and it's got a tick. Now you go to Facebook ad, and you go to configure. So I'm going to click on configure. And then again, you're going to select your Facebook business page that you already set up through your settings that we talked through earlier today. So you're going to select your business page. And here's the next thing. Where it says destination, you always want to select Facebook lead generation form. Okay. And you're going to select, you can select learn more, sign up, or apply now. I feel like learn more is a little bit more inviting. It's a little bit less aggressive, and that's what you want. So the best practice is to just leave it on learn more, but you want to select Facebook lead generation form. And the reason why is because of this. If you don't do this and they click on your ad and they actually click on learn more, what it's going to do is take them, your consumer, to a website, which is great. They're going to your website, But the whole point of this is to capture their information as a lead so you can follow up with them, whether they want to buy this listing or whether you want to represent them as a buyer for anything else. And if you don't, if you select to send them to a website, well, that's just another hurdle, right? That's just another step, because what's going to happen is you're going to hope they click on the button, speak to the agent. And when they do that, a pop-up window is going to say, what's your first name? They're going to have to type that in. And you're going to hope they're going to type in correctly. What's your last name? What's your email? What's your phone number? In each of those steps, it's just another barrier for them not to give you the right information and opt out. When you click on this, when they click on learn more, what's going to happen is a lead generation form produced by Facebook themselves is going to pop up with all their details automatically inputted into the actual lead form. So if Scott had clicked on learn more, well, what's going to happen on his Facebook account is a lead form with this particular ad saying, Scott, you wanted to learn more. Here's your details. Just all you got to do is click on submit. And when he clicks on submit, I'm going to receive his exact name, the phone number that's he registered with Facebook, and the email that he registered with Facebook. Now, is there a possibility that they can change it and they can put in a bogus email and phone number? Absolutely. They can even put in a bogus name. But the likelihood of them doing that, it's cumbersome. Just like it is cumbersome if they were to give you their information willingly and correctly if you send them to a site page. Does that make sense to everyone? I hope that kind of clears it up. And I just want to stress this kind of the reason why. Any questions so far?
Is there a plan to add the Facebook handle as well in the future? Is a question from Charles. It's coming from Facebook already, so it seems like that's a no-brainer. Another chance to drip or follow up. And I think so what he means is you put their Facebook account, their user ID, into command as one of the, because there's a place we can go in there and add it. So is that going to be part of the lead capture that's coming? Do you know of?
I don't know of that, but I'll definitely find out. Yeah, I don't know. But again, like, submit that request. You can vote on ideas and really, KW wants this for the agents, so if you want something, it's going to be, it's important to them, right?
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
There's a question from Alicia about adding something to LinkedIn. So could you?
Yeah, she wants to know if there's going to be an opportunity to add like an integration like this for LinkedIn.
In terms of an ad, well, I believe when we went into campaigns,
Isn't LinkedIn part of the connection piece in the settings?
let me have a look. So again, right now, you're not able to run a campaign in LinkedIn. I know you can run paid campaigns within the LinkedIn platform itself, but not through command as of right now. But to answer your question, Scott, if we go into settings, right now, LinkedIn is actually not part of this. So if that's something that you feel would really impact your business, please go to answers.kw.com, submit that ticket and type it in, and you're gonna be heard and seen. So I hope that helps. But let's press forward with this campaign. Now, so as we move forward, what you're going to do is after this, so once they click learn more and they're going to click submit, at that point, once they've clicked submitted, you've got their details automatically from Facebook at a very high probability that it's going to be correct. Then you can choose to send them to your website, right? So I might send them to my website. So you'll see, that I'm just going to send them to my website. Now, what I was trying to do, guys, was actually, for some reason, I could not get this property on my website. Now, that could be a glitch. But again, I couldn't. Typically, you could get a property on your website. So again, so if it was this property, what you would do is you would copy this link of this particular property on your website. I would copy. I'd go back into campaigns and I would paste it in. And so once they click submit and I receive their details, they would actually go to that website showing that property on my website. Does that make sense? Now, for whatever reason, this particular listing isn't showing on my website. So I hope it's showing in yours. And if it's not, I would submit a ticket right away.
Does commercial show up? I think just residential shows up on our.
That might be the problem. Yeah. All right. So, but point being is, if this was a residential, it would certainly show up. You would do what I just did. Just copy the link of the property page on your website into this section of campaigns. Once you've done that, by the way, you can choose to create a landing page. It's a bit more complicated, but I would just stick with this for now because it's easier and they're on your website. You would go to add targeting. I would click on use custom settings. If you don't do that, what it's going to do is it's going to hit, Phoenix, Arizona, wherever that listing is, 20 mile radius of that, for anyone on Facebook with any interest group, right? But I would and you can do that. I've seen successful ads do that. Right? So if you want to keep it simple, go ahead and do that and select Save Facebook Campaign, Save Facebook Ad. But if you want to get a bit more creative, I would do this. When you click on Use Custom Settings, all this shows up and you've got a choice from target your database or target a custom audience. And if this is a listing that you want to target your database, go ahead and do that. But for the sake of getting leads and getting people into your system and filling up your pipeline, select target your custom audience. Then you would go into Phoenix, Arizona, and you can select your radius miles. So you can go as little as 15 all the way up to 50, right? So 15, and you can't go any lower than that, and all the way up to 50, and you can't go any higher than that. Now, what's best practice? Honestly, anywhere between 30 and 50. Personally, I like 50. I may not get, as sharp leads, as hot leads, but at the end of the day, if it's within reach for me to represent, to help someone 48 miles away from me to try and help them buy and earn some money on, I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to work hard. So I like 50. Then you would go down here. And again, you don't have to do this. This is optional, completely optional. And you can save and it'll hit everyone on Facebook, 50 miles out, 40 miles out, whatever you want, right? But if you want to do this, you click on that. And this is where you target interest groups, right? So if you click on this arrow, all the interest groups will show up. And you can literally go down the list and select particular interest groups that you want to target. So what this means is when you're on Facebook, when you create a profile on Facebook, over the course of time, of months and years, you're going to be shown through your behavior on Facebook that you have an interest in a particular group. So some people might have interest in architecture. And they'll like architecture, and Facebook knows that, and in fact it shows you that it has an audience size of almost 500 million people that have an interest group in architecture on Facebook within a 40-mile radius in Phoenix. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Well, probably not in that radius, but in Facebook altogether. So what I would do here is I would go to the big ones, Zillow, right? I would click Zillow right here, 34 million. I would click realtor.com. Right there, almost 4 million. I would click that. I would click, I would choose Trulia. You've got 12 million there. I would select something like, if I just typed in home, again, if this was a residential, I would select home. What did home have? 901 million, right? Maybe home construction, home repair. I would click, you know, as many as you want, right? You know, some people say, well, if you do, you know, too many, is that you're not going to get as sniped results. Yeah, that's true. But the other argument is, why don't you cast your net wide and see what fish you can get? You know. By the way, on the right-hand side here, if you drop this down, it'll say or and. Make sure it's on or, because if you select and, what you're telling Command and Facebook to target is the people that must have every single one of these in their interest groups. And you don't want that because it narrows it right down. So again, just go down the list or type in whatever, you know, whatever comes to mind. So you could type in mortgage. That's another big one. Mortgage loans, mortgage calculator. Relocation. Let's see if anything comes up on relocation. Nothing. Let's see if any comes up on moving company. So anything and everything that kind of relates to real estate, right? And I would just I've selected 9 there, save that selection. And I would save that. The next is your duration and budget. Okay. So here's the deal. How much do you want to spend and for how long? Again, Facebook is a business. It likes money. So if you're throwing more money at it, yes, you're going through the KW ecosystem. But what I found out is if you throw more money at it at a shorter period of time, you're going to get better results. So automatically, it's going to put you down for a $30 budget over the course of 10 days. And it's going to start the following day. So whatever the following day is, today's July 22, it's going to start automatically July 23. You can change that. You can start it in 2 days, on the weekend, a week from now, next month, whatever you might want. Okay. But for what I've seen, $3 a day, yes, it'll get you leads. You don't have to spend a ton. But if you really want to up your game, throw a bit more money at it. So I would do like, you know, I would do like a week or even 5 days. And I would do, say, $50 at $10 a day. And I've seen that done really well. It's not going to break your budget. So then you go save duration and budget, and then you've done it. That's it. That's how long it took. And this is going to take you a lot quicker because I've talked through it and I've kind of gone bits and pieces, but you go ahead and publish your campaign. Your credit card details will come up. If you haven't set it up, you're going to click add new. This will come up, all right? And just put in details. And that's how you do it. This is easy. If you don't want to do it now, you can save that as a draft. You can go ahead and save it. Any questions so far? There you go. There's your draft. So when you come back in, you can go ahead and edit, duplicate it, or archive it. Questions, queries?
Remember, y'all are muted. Might want to unmute yourselves. One thing I would add is when you're creating an ad, I want to emphasize give the algorithm time to establish itself. So when you set it to run an ad for like 2 days, 3 days, you're not going to get great results. You really need to be in that 5, 7 to 10 day time frame or a little bit longer when you're running an ad. And so that may be, well, why would I run my just listed that long? Or why would I run my open house that long? Well, you might not. Because from a just listed standpoint, we can't have the coming soons on there forever. So you could do a just listed and just be having to respond that you're under contract. If you know ahead of time that you're going to do an open house because you know the property is coming live, you could run an open house there. But these are some excellent examples right here that Paul's showing you of the type of ad you would create that has sort of more of an evergreen status, like that one there in the middle. Do you know the current value of your home? And that's probably where you were going, was to show some example of these posts. So I'll be quiet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's spot on. So I've uploaded this in the chat for your reference. You can go ahead and download it. And if I were you, I would just R&D it all day long. You know, these are ads that have been proven. Like aside from my one down here, I've just put it in just as an example of just how simple it is. Like I just want to encourage you guys. This is not rocket science. It might take you a little bit, but I know you can do it. You guys are super talented people and just super sharp agents. And I know you can do this. And it doesn't require a lot. This was the worst performing one, which is my one, at $1.37 a lead or whatever it was, $1.71. But all of these other 5 were 50 cents and below. I'm not even kidding. 50 cents and below. That's why I'm telling you, rip off and duplicate all day long. And I'll tell you now, surprisingly, see this one here with the really bad quality picture? That was the best performing one at like 20 cents a lead.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
20 cents a lead. That's insane.
It's insane. It really is. So again, look, emojis. I'm sharing that. You guys go ahead and download it. And all these examples, guess where I found them? I found them in Facebook from those pages. Once again, from Command Your Conversion, from a combination of Command Your Conversion and yeah, that's it. From a combination of Command Your Conversion and KW Command. That's it. That's it for me.
What questions you got for Paul?
Jason, I just got a quick tip, really. If you have a template that you use with all your emojis that you like to use frequently, like 3-bedroom, then you show a house, then you get to the square footage, you might use a ruler, etc. If you type out that template, you can save it to Google Keep, which if you open any Google window is in the upper right-hand corner in the apps section. You can paste your template in there, and then it makes it really, really easy when you're running your ads just to paste from Google Keep your template and then just fill in the pertinence like bedrooms, baths, square footage, etc.
Excellent.
It makes it really fast.
And everybody with your KW email, you all have all the G Suite apps available to you with your KW email.
So real quick, those examples I just showed you, I took the liberty to actually copy paste the wordage. I'm going to send this right now to Jason. And you guys will have it.
Awesome. For the cost of a referral, I'll give it to you. Just kidding. I'll send it out. I'm posted on the Facebook group.
Awesome.
But again, guys, just have a swing. Bear with it. It's going to be glitchy. It can kind of break on you, but at the end of the day, you know, it's worthwhile just having a swing.
It is, and I hope everyone saw how easy it is to get in there and make these ads. Really finding ways that we can make additional discussions on our Facebook group about ways to do it. But an ad that I've ran before is even homes with a price reduction. See the homes with a price reduction over the last week, and part of your command search is you just set up a search for the last homes, Tempe homes with a price reduction in the last 7 days. And that will always run for 7 days. That link is good. And that's the ad you run with it, with that link. And so anytime they click on there, they're seeing whatever homes have had a price reduction. It could be for the whole area or whatnot. So there's lots of different ways that you can create ads for this. And the command challenge for this week is to run a just listed or an open house ad. And now you know how to do that. You can pull up the data, pull up the listing right there into command and set it off to go and run it for coming up on this weekend. It's perfect time to be starting your ads would be today to tomorrow to run your ad through the weekend. Even if you're doing an open house, run it through the weekend.
Yeah. Can I suggest one other thing, Jason, is that here's an idea. Check this out. I'm going to share my screen again. All right. So you're all going to be running ads, but what if you took a different approach? What if you go into command, select referrals, select map, and find out which city refers into Tempe the most. So you're going to go ahead and referral patterns, right? It's going to bring up wherever you are. I'm going to type in Tempe, Arizona, and this shows the referral patterns going out of Tempe, people moving away from Tempe. If you click on this one, it'll show the referral patterns coming into Tempe. Now on the right-hand side, it'll rank them. Tucson's number 1, Anchorage, Alaska's number 2, right? So why don't you run an ad, go into campaigns, go ahead and run an ad and target Anchorage, Alaska. And something like, are you wanting to move to Tempe? Click here for the latest listings or the homes that have just decreased in the last 7 days. Just do that, try that.
There's so much power in this platform, guys. And that right there is also another reason why when you have a referral that you're sending somewhere, send it through command. Even if you talk to the person first, like you want to call and you want to vet them. So I call and I'm talking to an agent in, let's say it was Anchorage, right? So I call and I'm talking to find an agent in Anchorage I'm going to send it to. Instead of just texting them the information or sending them an email, go into command, send it to them as a referral, invite them to your referral network and send it through command. That helps you build this data that's available. Additionally, you get to see what's happening as that lead progresses because you handed them off through command.
Yeah. And that's just one city. Anchorage was one of the top 10 cities. I know there was Vegas, there was Spokane, there was Salt Lake City, Seattle, all in the top 10 cities that refer into Tempe, Arizona. So,
guys, I actually ran that ad from Anchorage to here with my Keen listing. And I have a buyer who's moving here next year who's going to buy with us coming from Anchorage. So that works.
Charles, I love that. Would you say that one more time, louder for those in the back?
I have a buyer moving here next year who looked at my Keen ad out in Augusta Ranch. Saw it from Anchorage when I marketed that listing. Just from what he just showed you, you can look at all the cities that are inbound, and it worked.
Do you remember how much you spent?
Oh goodness, I think I targeted California cities, Anchorage, Chicago, and I think I stuck with the $30. But I like your suggestion to pay more. It makes sense.
Yeah,
that's really awesome. I have a question, Paul. Because I haven't tried this yet. I've done it with my own ads manager through Facebook. That when I'm running an ad and I see it producing well, I'm getting really great traction on it. I'll go in and double down on it. So I might be running the ad for $25. I'll see that it's running really well. I'll go in there and I'll up it to $50. Are you able to go in when you edit your ad's running, go in there and increase your ad spend or your duration? Are you able to edit that once you activate it?
No, not that I know of. You just have to go ahead and duplicate that. Yeah, but that's a good point. Like, so I've played around with some high level Facebook ad managers before, and what they do is they actually throw $5 at like 4 different examples. So they might have 123 Main Street with different verbiage and different pictures. So they have like 4 to 8 different of the same listing, and then they just kill the losers and reallocate that money into the winners. And they double down, to your point.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, absolutely, go for it.
And as far as when you make your payment, so you decide your budget's going to be $50. Ordinarily, when you run it through Facebook, you only pay based on what is charged. So if you run the ad at $50 and it spends 30 to run its duration, it doesn't actually spend the full 50. You only get charged $30 from Facebook. In this case, because we're using Keller's program, you have to look at it more as you're paying into an account. So you say, I want to run my ad for $50. I'm going to get charged immediately that $50. But my account now will show that I have $50 in it. And if only $30 is used, I'll still have $20 to use on a future ad.
That's right. So I'm going to show you.
That's how your bill's going to get charged. It's different than how it happens in Facebook.
Exactly. So to Jason's point, if you go back into campaigns in your command, you'll see payments on the top right-hand corner. If you click on that, you'll see your ad spend metrics, right? And it'll tell you all the different platforms that you've, spent ads on. And again, I've only done Facebook, and you click on all campaigns, and it'll show you all the campaigns you ran and the budget you had for each campaign and how much of that budget was spent. So you see here, I put $40 in a particular ad that didn't actually go through, and the $40 is applied to my account, and I've got a total of $474. Who wants that? I'm only kidding. So you'll see there, right? So you can pause and you can quit it early, and you're still going to have that money as credits in your account.
Anybody got questions for Paul? If not, we're not going to make him stick around. So ask your questions. Give you a couple seconds here. Get up the courage.
I'll just say it's again, guys, I'm so blessed to, to work with Jason and Scott. We're really trying to do anything we can to really impact your guys' businesses. And because at the end of the day, this culture in the KW family, it's one of contribution and love, and we need that, especially in this world that we're living in right now. So guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. From representing the region, we thank you for being on the front lines and just really doing your best. I really appreciate it.
Paul, thank you so much for all that you're doing to help us, and your contributions are invaluable. And I know our folks really, really appreciate your time today. So thank you very, very much.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here, Paul. Thank you so much. Really fantastic stuff. We've recorded it. We've had, upwards of 7 people at different times and are also in our streaming watching. So everybody, thank you for being here. If you have any questions, I'll stick around here while people are dropping off. You can ask me questions. Otherwise, thanks so much, and get out there and kill it.
Okay, I'm gonna go kill it now.
Thank you, Charles.
Bye, guys.
Bye.